And then I'm going to do it this time and post it when I'm supposed to.
I guess while you're doing that, did anyone have problems with the preparation stuff, or was everyone good?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was good.
Awesome sauce.
I took statistics. This is actually my third time taking it. The first time I kind of just didn't do anything, and it was a self-paced, and I waited till the last minute, and so I ended up failing. But last semester, this was one of the areas that I did really good in. So,
All right. So if we have questions, we can ask
you guys.
yes.
Well, I've taken it before. No wonder I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
I passed last semester, but I need a better grade in it because they figure in statistics as part of the GPA for entrance to the nursing program. And so
yeah, I'm the same kind of way. I need a really high mark because of the field I'm going into.
Yeah. So I figure the third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can start. Which hypothesis involves equality? And I got null hypothesis.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I'll do number 4. Remember that the p-value is the probability of obtaining a sample statistic at least as extreme as the one that was actually observed. When computing the p-value, which hypothesis do you assume to be true? And it's the null hypothesis.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, which of the following represents the alternative hypothesis for a two-tailed test? And I got alternative hypothesis is mean does not equal 10, so like the third one down.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, number 6, which of the following represents the alternative hypothesis for a left-tailed test? And I got, I forgot how you say it, the HA.
That's the alternative hypothesis.
Yeah, the alternative hypothesis is where the mean is less than 10.
Yep.
That's what I got too. Awesome sauce.
And then number 7, which of the following represents for a right tail test, and it's the alternative hypothesis is where the mean is greater than 10.
Yeah. All right, 8. Remembering that we determine the outcome of the hypothesis test by comparing the p-values to the level of significance. Which relationship would result in failing to reject the null hypothesis? And I got p-value is greater than A.
Right.
The first one.
Yep.
Okay, I got those two confused. So why is it greater than A?
Just remember the saying, if the p is low, reject the null.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fail to reject the null, that means the p-value is high.
Okay.
That's the best way I can think of to remember it.
That makes sense. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Which relationship would result in rejecting the null hypothesis? So the p-value is less than A.
Correct. Yep. So an insurance company is reviewing its current policy rates. When originally setting the rates, they believed that the average claim amount was $1,500. They are concerned that the true mean is actually higher than this. Use this information for the next 2 questions. Which of the following would be the appropriate alternative hypothesis? And it is the average claim amount is greater than $1,500.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
11, which of the following would be the appropriate null hypothesis? And I got the average claim amount is equal to 1,500, the first one.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. The insurance company randomly selects n equals 40 claims and calculates the sample mean of 1,550. Use this information to answer the next 3 questions. the insurance company assumes the distribution of the sample mean is normal. Is this a good assumption? And I said it's a good assumption since the sample size is large.
Correct.
That's what I thought.
No, that's not what I said. Yeah, that is what I said.
I mean, you said it and it's right, so let's go with it.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, that's what I.
question 13, what theorem or law justifies your answer to the previous question? And it's the central limit theorem.
Yeah.
Right. And then for 14, which of the following is a test statistic as defined in this lesson? And I got Z, the second one.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I. Okay, so this one confused me, so you might have to walk me through it at some point.
Okay.
The historical mean of sales receipts at a grocery store is 150 with a standard deviation of 40. The store manager suspects that the average has decreased. She sets up a hypothesis test with the hypothesis. The null hypothesis is mean equals 150, and the alternative hypothesis is the mean is less than 150. She will use a level of significance of A equals 0.05. She then takes a random sample of 36 sales receipts from her store and computes the sample mean to be 144. What is the Z-score associated with this test? And I did what I thought it was, and so I thought that what you would do is take the sample mean minus the mean. So I did 144 minus 150, and then I divided that by 40 divided by 36.
Okay.
And I got like 5 point something, but that didn't make sense because it's down to
So
3 decimals.
what you did wrong is it's the square root of 36, not just 36.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what I heard was wrong.
Yeah. So this is just like the formula where you're calculating the standard deviation of the sample means, and so it's x minus the mu divided by the standard deviation over the square root of the sample size.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You did everything right except you didn't do the square root of the sample size.
So I got, whenever I did that just now, I got negative 0.9.
That's right.
That's what I got too.
But it says round to 3, so should we like?
You can put it extra zeros, but it normally accepts these kind of answers because the zeros are just extra. It's just if you had more, you put more.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was doing something wrong because I didn't have 3. Okay.
And so question 16, the p-value associated with that z-score is 0.184.
But I got two.
And then we did that by, since I got that one wrong, I did the rest of them. So we did that by putting that in probability.
So I took the z-score. I took the z-score and put it in the applet, and since we're looking at a left-tailed test, I highlighted just the area to the left, and that gave me the 0.184.
Yeah. Okay.
If it helps in the lesson, it actually gave like a graph showing when to highlight each one. And if you're having problems with the applet, it'd be a really good thing to like keep that in your notes or remember where that is, kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then for 17, what inference would you make about the null hypothesis for this problem? And I'm pretty sure we failed to reject the null.
Correct.
Because it's small.
No, because
it's big.
Because your p-score was greater than the alpha. So the 0.184, since it's larger than that 0.05, you would reject the null, or you would fail to reject the null.
If p is low, you reject the null.
Okay, so the p is in comparative to the level of significance then.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And so our conclusion for this problem would be we have insufficient evidence that the true population mean is less than 150?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm just curious, which one did you get wrong, TJ?
Number 20.
Okay. was like, you've been very confident on all of these, so I was just curious.
Yeah. So number 19, there are two types of errors that can be made when performing a hypothesis test. Which one involves rejecting the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true, and that's a type 1 error.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Right, and then 20, a researcher decided that instead of using a level of significance of A equals 0.05, he will use A equals 0.01. And it's either the probability of a type 2 error will increase, but I honestly thought it was just his experiment will be more scientifically valid.
I can tell you that it's not the first one.
Okay, I think I was more confident in his experiment will be more scientifically valid.
No, I mean the first
Oh,
one,
you mean
like letter A. So
Okay.
I chose the probability of a type 1 error will increase.
okay?
And that
And
was wrong.
Do you
probability
understand
of
why that was wrong?
Kinda.
Basically, because you have to remember. So, like 21, did you get 0.05 for your answer?
Yes.
Okay, so for 20, so that means that the level of significance is equal to how likely it is that a type 1 error will occur.
Right. So if
So
alpha,
if it decreases, then the type 1 error, like the probability of that occurring, will decrease.
so if alpha is 0.05, there's a 95% chance, basically, that
It's correct.
Okay, so if we decrease alpha to 0.01,
There
then
is
there's
a
99% chance that
there's a 99% chance it will be correct. Realistically, it's easier to just look at it and say, okay, well, if the level of significance is 0.01, that means my probability of of having a type 1 error occur is 0.01.
Okay.
Because they're just the exact same. So if the level of significance decreases, that means the probability of a type 1 error to occur will decrease. If it increases, then the probability that it will occur, I cannot talk today, will increase.
Okay, so really the only one that makes sense then is that the experiment will be more scientifically valid.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because a type 2 error is involving failing to reject the null hypothesis.
What about, because isn't 0.01 really close to 0? And
Yeah.
so there was a point in the lesson where it said, well, why not make it 0? And then they were saying because that would, I don't know how to word it, like,
They was talking about how that it would be impossible for anything else but the null to be true.
yeah. So would that make it a type 2 error, or you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just really not sure. I don't really understand the errors that well. My last semester teacher actually had to post more information about it because,
Yeah.
helpful. I'm pretty sure, realistically, it can only be the last two, if it sounds like.
Okay.
And I personally think that his experiment will be more scientifically valid, but one of us can submit it and we can test it. We have 2 more submissions before, because TJ already submitted it once. So one of us can submit it. If it's wrong, we can try it again.
Type 2 or more valid whenever I was reading it. So, okay, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, if A equals 0.05, compute the probability of committing a type 1 error. And I got 0.05.
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's right.
That goes along with what we were just talking about. The level of significance is equal to the probability of committing a type 1 error.
Yeah.
And then I can submit it.
Okay.
If you guys want. A moment of truth. Okay, no, 20 was wrong again.
And what option did you choose?
His experiment will be more scientifically valid. So does someone want, or Adeline, do you want to submit it trying?
Do we want to do the null hypothesis is true will decrease?
I think so. And I mean, if that's wrong, we actually know for the second time we submit it that it'll be a type 2. So, I mean, I'm not really worried.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we missed it again.
Okay, so the type 2 error is the one, and I don't know if I really understand that.
So, okay, so the probability of a type 2 error will increase. And this, I was just reading something, it's outside of the lesson, but it says the likelihood of making a type 1 error versus a type 2 error is inversely proportional. Thus,
Okay.
if you make your rejection of the null less stringent, all else being equal, then the power of your test should increase. So if we're decreasing the level of significance, then the power of the test, or the chance of the probability of the type 2 error will then increase.
Yeah, that makes sense if they're inverse. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Okay, so save. So we should get 100 on it now.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that was the only option left, so.
Yeah.
Process of elimination.
Exactly.
Hey, we got 100.
Awesome. Okay, so I think at this point, all three of us have done the setup for meetings, so I can do it next week unless you want to do it, TJ.
I'm actually, let me look at my schedule because I think I work on.
I don't mind doing it. It's not like it's difficult or anything.
Okay, I actually work Monday and Wednesday. I had to change my schedule next week because we're actually in the process of adopting, and we have some training with our adoption agency next week. So I had to move my schedule at work. So for Monday and Wednesday, I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did for last week and just email you guys the answers. And then
Sounds good.
I'll go back and watch the video.
Sounds good. All right, then I'll set up the meeting for 10 next week.
Okay.
And then since I'm not going to be at either one, I'll ask now. We're not going to do a meeting the following Monday, which is Memorial Day, right?
Do we have class?
I don't know. Is there something to do that day? I mean, I think the problem is most people actually meet on Tuesday and Thursday, so we still are supposed to meet at least once that week.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to meet Monday if people can't, but we're still supposed to meet.
Okay. Well, I'll let you guys figure it out in one of the meetings next week, and then
Fingers crossed more people will actually be here.
Yeah, that's true. I work Memorial Day though. That's one of my holidays that I have to work. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys just decide and then just send out a text message, and that way I know what I need to do if I need to email answers or if you're meeting at another time.
Sounds good.
Awesome. I will see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.